Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and I have a serious question that I want to ask you. Does America run the risk of a civil war? Is such a thing even possible in today's day and age? Well, to be frank, I'm not the only one asking the question. What you're about to see in the video is bombshell, and multiple media outlets and people are asking if we're already in a civil war. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty on this. What is a civil war? Well, a civil war happens when two sides or multiple sides cannot agree on who runs the country. Kind of sounds like something going on today, doesn't it? On one side, we have Obama, James Comey, Hillary Clinton, Robert Mueller, McCabe, and all the cronies on the very far left. The socialists, true socialist, communist people built on the Democratic side, or they claim to be Democrats, but in reality, they're not. And then we have a Republican side. We have Donald Trump, nationalism, patriotism, populism, versus your New World Order, Obama cronies and Hillary cronies. Well, the two sides may not get along, which isn't bounds for civil war because, hey, people cannot get along and they can disagree and not have a civil war. A civil war only begins when one side or the other cannot accept the results of an election. Sounds a little bit similar to what's happening today. The American people's voices were heard when we put Trump in the White House, when we won Congress, the Republican side, and we won the House. Democrats all of a sudden fell off the deep end. When Democrats are in office, Republicans allow them to do pretty much whatever they want. When Obama was in office, we allowed him amnesty of whoever he wanted to give amnesty to. We allowed him to go in and blackmail our congressmen and senators into accepting Obamacare, something that each and every single one of us have been burdened by. Not only did our healthcare options go up double, triple, and quadruple, even in my case specifically, not only did they increase, but the actual amount of healthcare that you got decreased. You were not able to keep your doctor like Obama told and said that we would, but yet, this is exactly the things that they're allowed to do in office. But when Donald Trump says he wants to put up a wall, they want to use that as grounds to impeach him. They want to pin a Russian narrative on him and pretend like that's the reason they're getting him out of office, when in all reality, it's because he's a nationalist. It's because he puts America first. And those on the far left, they don't want America first. They want a globalist socialist agenda, something that Obama was very, very open about. Are we literally on the brink of a civil war? How about the fact, and I've talked about this multiple times on my channel, that the media is banning any conservative voices, any conservative news. It is being banned by Google, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. So much so that, as you know, Diamond and Silk went before a panel and they fought for their rights as conservative patriots. Patriots, Diamond and Silk, who you guys are aware of, I'm sure, are two hardcore proponents for Donald Trump and stand on the conservative angle. Not only that, but it's so bad as far as censorship is concerned that Brad Parscale, the Trump campaign manager for 2020, wrote a letter to both Facebook and Twitter demanding that they answer for the conservative bias that they so blatantly have. He stated in a tweet, he said, "We won't tolerate bias towards conservatives or towards Donald Trump supporters. We're standing up for you and demanding answers." And he directed it in a letter, in the form of a letter, to Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, and Twitter's Jack Dorsey. They have until mid-June to reply to the President of the United States for the censorship that they are pushing on the American people, that they are pushing on the side that they don't like. So how is that not grounds of a civil war when you have leftist groups and organizations like Facebook, like Twitter, who are very openly left, like Google, who has admitted to censoring conservative names, who have purposefully eliminated websites that they've brought back up, like Natural News, like InfoWars, like multiple channels who have been suppressed simply for a view. Or hey, what if you have a conspiracy theory that they don't like? Well, they fail to mention what a conspiracy is. How about the fact that Google banned them? Check out this report. Now, what you see on the screen is actually a 160-page handbook that was given to all the employees there at Google. Well, on page 108, it clearly states that anyone who talks about the following will be delisted, shadow banned, and possibly removed from their search engines. And that includes pages that are direct contradiction to established scientific or medical consensus or queries seeking scientific or medical information, unless the query indicates the user is seeking an alternative viewpoints. That would be your natural herbal options. That would be if you're anti-vaccines. Any one of those fall into that category. Also, pages that directly contradict well-established historical facts, unsubstantiated conspiracy theories, unless the query clearly indicates that the user is seeking an alternative viewpoint. What do they mean by conspiracy theories and unsubstantiated conspiracy theories? Well, if you believe in the New World Order, well, then they have grounds to remove you. Even though a New World Order, an international order, as they now call it, is something that exists via the United Nations. Or if you believe, say you're against vaccinations, they have grounds to remove you. Say you believe in chemtrails, which is actually not a theory, but a fact via geoengineering. This does happen in our day and age. But these very things can be banned because they're against the normal flow of what the government says is true or not true, of what the New World Order says is true and untrue. And now they have grounds to ban you, to shadow ban you, to make your voice not heard on the internet. How is that fair? How is that logical? Because certain things are not agreed upon, or because you think certain things are conspiracy theories, but you don't specifically mention what those are. So I go back to my original, and I'm asking a question. Are we in some type of maybe an information civil war that's not being fought with guns or anything of that nature? I believe we're in an information civil war. Not an all-out gun civil war, but possibly an information one. And I'm not the only one asking this question. Check out these reports that were asked even starting last year all the way up to this year from multiple media outlets. The first one here is from The Nation, put out February 2017. Are we on the verge of another civil war? How about The New Yorker in 2017? Is America headed for a new kind of civil war? LA Times, late 2017, are we headed for a second civil war? Salon, November 2017, we are in a new civil war. The Guardian, are right-wing pundits right that America is on the brink of civil war? June 2017. How about Washington Times, America's second civil war, in which, in that article, they admit that we're in the middle of a second civil war. And Zero Hedge, the most recent article, of this year, 2018, the modern civil war is being fought without guns, at least so far. Well, I leave you with the lingering question. Do you believe that we are? Do you believe that we're not? Is it a far-fetched question? If not, what is happening in America? Why are certain voices being banned and shut down while others are allowed platforms to speak? Why is it a sin suddenly to love the President of the United States of America? Why is it that the far left pushes so many ideals on the president, and if you support the president that you become a racist? Why do they ban people like Roseanne Barr but allow others to, well, stand up tall even though they do the same mistakes as Roseanne Barr? Why do they push people down and lift others up? Well, I'll leave that ultimately up to you. Do you believe that those on the Democratic left are accepting the results of, well, the election? Or do you think there's something a little more sinister? Anyhow, wanted to bring you the latest on all of that. If you like what you heard, please hit the subscribe button, share it on all your social media outlets, and don't forget to check out my partner at TradeGeniusAcademy.com. Right now, he's got 50% off, an amazing deal. And this is a class that you can take that teaches you how to, well, make money on the stock market, on cryptocurrencies, and everything like that. Great thing to get involved in. Well, thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.